Hi, my name is Eagle Wu. I'm the CEO and founder of Vinci VR, and we are making simulated training more effective and accessible. I'm here today to guide you through CODEX. CODEX is our flagship end-to-end virtual reality training platform that features a codeless simulation authoring tool, a simulator that renders highly realistic, immersive environments in virtual reality headsets, and a robust data analytics platform. Teams today are already reaping the benefits of CODEX. CODEX is being tested on the battlefields by the U.S. Air Force and the U.S. Army, and we've already formed a partnership with Siemens Gamesa Renewable Energy, one of the world's largest OEMs, to bring CODEX into offshore wind training. Today, I'll be taking you through all three parts of CODEX, and the hope is that this can help inform your team about the capabilities of CODEX and what it can bring to your training today. So, without further ado, let's get started. So we'll go ahead and import in the actual systems that, the procedure that Matt was just going through. And now you can see in CODEX Editor, I have all of the data for the entire procedure. Now, great things here are I can edit everything from the actual instructional guided text that comes up. So I'll go ahead and do that right now. Let's say, let's change that first step into test step number 1. Now the other benefit too within CODEX is I can actually go in and begin changing the actual interactions and the actual environment logic that goes into virtual reality. This is huge because if you've actually programmed content for VR, this is the hardest part of actually making content, is adding the interactions, making your environment and synthetic environment actually interactive, but also programming in the logic. Now, instead of having to go in and bring in an engineer, I can actually just from this portal go ahead and change the interaction. So I'm going to go ahead and do that right now. So I'm going to tell Matt, I'm going to tie this step and change the interaction to, let's say the 6 button here. That gives it system status. The other thing too is now I can actually begin to chain different environment interactions. So I'm going to actually go ahead and completely change the logic of the system, and let's say require Matt to actually go ahead and hit a button on a flight stick. You can also reorder steps, so very simple drag and drop interface to do so. So now this becomes step 2. We're going to keep that step 1 for now. In addition, you can also change the different interactions. Again, you're changing the actual game logic within the VR environment. So you're changing how the environment responds. So now I've completely scrambled and changed up the way that his virtual cockpit works and the procedure to do so. And I've done so in a few minutes. So a few simple click with a few buttons. So I'm going to go ahead and save that. And now when Matt goes back into virtual reality, he will be able to play his new content. So Matt is currently going through the actual simulator, so he's playing a procedure that we made in CODEX. So as you can see, the entire environment is interactive, and CODEX actually enables you to add and later on interactions in your environment, as well as change interactions in game logic. So yeah, this is CODEX in a nutshell. The environment itself is extremely realistic, as you can see here. This is pretty much one-to-one to a real aircraft, but this can also be replaced out by our team with any piece of equipment or environment or scenario. Matt is currently playing one of the game modes that is automatically created. This is a demonstration mode and enables highlighting, so guided highlighting as well as guided text. There's also a practice mode, which does not have any guided highlighting and guided text, as well as a testing mode where Matt would have to be able to essentially go through an entire procedure based off of memory or given a manual. These modes are automatically created by the simulator itself. So Matt, what did you think of the experience?
It was great. It was very immersive. The picture was very clear. Everything was a lot more responsive than I expected. And I really liked the instructions, how it was laid out right in front of me. And it would kind of move to follow me, so it would still stay in my line of sight.
Did you feel like you were actually in the aircraft?
Definitely, it was very immersive. Like I felt like I was sitting in the pilot seat.
Are you ready to fly the airplane now?
I might need some more training for that, but it was great.
All right, so analytics. Because we're grabbing pretty much all the information that's happening within the virtual environment, so we're gathering everything from, are they hitting the right steps, the wrong steps, how much time they're spending, where they're looking, so on and so forth. This actually creates a very robust way for an instructor to see, what that data looks like in a very visual way. So currently right here we have is the total amount of mistakes we have in VR. So we can see that this entire class looks like people are really struggling with step 15 in this procedure. And the next part is step 3. So what you can do as an instructor is, based off this data, actually go into the editor, change any of the content that might be accompanying these steps, so that you can try to start drill down these errors. The other benefit too is you can actually go and sort to different students. So we see if this student, they've been doing very well. Actually, they've only been making one mistake at a time, but they're struggling mostly at kind of 3 particular steps. Yeah, the last part of this is actually allowing for live streaming. So once I click this button and you have an actual classroom of students, instead of, we don't have one VR headset here, but if you had 4 different headsets, and they're all, they can either be on the Wi-Fi cloud, or they could be physically Ethernetly connected together, especially for areas where you might have a little more security requirements. You'll be able to, from the station, live stream what up to 4 students are seeing and doing in virtual reality, and then provide them real-time feedback, especially if they are struggling in a certain part. You can actually look at what they're seeing from this station and provide guidance. That is the core parts of the analytics. Soon to come, we'll be watching playbacks and video recordings, as well as more robust data collection. Thank you for joining us today and walking through all of the incredible benefits that CODEX offers you. We hope that you can see the immense potential that this tool can have on your team and your training. And we hope that if you have any questions, or if you think this is right for your team, please feel free to reach out and contact us. Thanks so much. Hope you enjoyed.